again, everyone, and I've got another box here from HobbyLink Japan. So what's in the box? Well, you already know that because you clicked on the video. So let's get it out of here. And of course, this is the A.G.P. Musashi Kai from KANCOLLE. And for those of you who have been around on the channel for a while, you may remember the A.G.P. Yamato review I did. Some found it funny, some found it a little bit too harsh. But to be honest, I just said what I saw at the time. I was comparing it to other figures around the same scale, not necessarily from the same line. So this time around, I will try to focus a little less on the negative, but hopefully I won't have to try, and this will be better than what we've seen before. So there's the box, and it does look fantastic, just like the Yamato box. Again, it is missing a window though. There's the picture on the top, there is down on the bottom, there is side number 1, side number 2, and there's the back, and you can see the A.G.P. ship parts are absolutely colossal. So let's not waste any more time, let's bust this thing open and see what we've got. And there is that clear inner packaging, and as you can see, this comes absolutely loaded with stuff. Now let's get it out of there. So there she is out of the box, and I can already tell you she is worlds apart from the Yamato I've seen before. I'm not sure if Tamashinations have just stepped up their quality control in the meantime, or did I just get a really bad Yamato? I'd like to think it's the latter. Under very close scrutiny, you can see that it really doesn't stand up against the likes of a Figma, but then again, not much does. And for the most part, this does look pretty good. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the eyes in there look awesome. They are a bit obscured by the glasses there, which are pretty cool as they do feature clear lenses, but that metallic silver paint could be a little bit tidier, but then again, it could be a lot worse. The sculpt of the face is very nice. A little more three-dimensional than your average small-scale posable anime figure. It does look pretty good and casts some nice shadows. I have to say, I'm really digging the cat ear style up here. That looks pretty damn cool. There are a couple of rough edges and seam lines here, but that isn't unusual for something this small. And there we are, moving around to the back. Moving down now to the body, and you can see it looks so much better than the Yamato we saw before. And here's a bit of a quick recap of that. As you can see, this paint splotches all over the place, massive nub and mold marks over here, and just shoddy paintwork in general. Moving now back to Musashi, and as you can see, the paint applications are pretty much perfect. And the skin looks so good in that matte paint. As this is Musashi Kai, you can see that the jacket thrown over her shoulders is in black, not red, and that black also extends down to the skirt. And just another comparison, as you can see, the stitching on there is very well applied. That's what my Yamato looked like. Not really any nub marks there on top of those shells, and as you can see, my Yamato was just littered with them. So that is enough for comparisons. Let's get her out of the way. This Musashi Kai I'm looking at right now is just much better, and the quality I do expect to see from a big company like Bandai. And last up, there are the legs, the stockings in black, with those awesome bandages which extend down from the torso. And of course, it would not be a Kantai Collection character without those awesome rudder heels. And there's a quick size comparison with some Figma Kantai Collection figures, and as you can see, they are pretty much in the same scale range. And there's Musashi Kai with everything that she comes with. As well as that default front section of the hair, we also have this alternate one with the glasses moved up. Although I will point out that these do come on a runner and you have to cut them out yourself. And there is a spare pair there, and that's good, because these fall out really easily. So I'd advise being careful with those. As for faces, there's the default face, this awesome shouting battle face, what looks to me like a confused face, and this last face which looks like she might be about to sneeze. As for hands, we've got the default fists, some widespread open hands, some relaxed open hands, these open hands with the fingers bent, a pair of holding hands, and she doesn't come with anything to hold, so I am curious as to what she can hold with them. She can hold Yamato's parasol. To some degree, she is compatible with A.G.P. parts, possibly parts from other Tamashinations figures as well, I'm not sure. As the thumb and the fingers aren't separate, there is no flexibility here. It is pretty much impossible to use these hands with most Figma's accessories. With this one, the thickness is the same all the way down, so it can just slide in fairly easily. But as for this sword over here, there's not a chance that's getting in there. And lastly, you have two unique hands, this left hand holding a shell, not the greatest paint application on there, and this right hand, which is another variant of the relaxed hand. Now on to the main event, and of course, that's the ship parts. This one attaches onto the waist here. That's pretty simple. This next part attaches into the back of this waist section, and that is that on there. Again, pretty simple. That section then is used to attach her onto the stand. You might remember that the quality control on the ship parts of my Yamato really did leave a lot to be desired, but the ship parts here look absolutely perfect. It really does seem to me that I may have just got a dud with the Yamato. But anyway, those ship parts connect on here, and that is what it looks like all attached. And like before, all of these barrels feature independent articulation articulation that can spin around there as well as tilt in and out like that. The same goes for the smaller turrets. They can move side to side. The barrels can individually move. As for these ones down here, they can move as well side to side, but it doesn't seem like there's any up and down movement there. These small turrets on the back can move side to side as well, and of course the same goes for this one down here on her hip, and can move those barrels up and down. So now moving quickly onto posability, and as always from the head down. So there's the head all the way to the front, all the way to the back, so not too much to the back there. These twin tails back here can move up and down. The head can move side to side. Can it go all the way around? Yes, but not really. The arm all the way up, it does get a bit blocked by this section up here. This isn't necessarily all that flexible. This is a bit on the stiff side, so it can get in the way of the arm, but that is pretty decent considering. Basically, you're not going to get that all the way around, but there's still some decent articulation there. There is the bend at the elbow, and some pretty decent articulation there at the wrist. The jacket is a little bit stiffer on this side, so that's about all you're going to get from this arm. As for the ab crunch, there's not a whole lot towards the front, but you get quite a bit towards the back. So there's side to side, and that's pretty good. This little belt section here can move around. There is the leg up all the way to the front. There it is all the way to the back, so not much there. All the way out to the side, so she's not going to be doing the splits. There is the bend at the knee, and finally at the ankle there's all the way up, all the way down. We've got a side to side pivot, and that can rotate all the way around. So that is it for the review. Well, my opinion on these figures has done a complete 360. Musashi here is so much better than that Yamato I had before. Completely worlds apart. This is definitely a great quality figure. Not quite as good as a Figma, but it's still pretty damn good. And really, in all honesty, it is worth it for those huge ship parts which look fantastic. For the most part, the sculpt, detail, and paint is spot on. There are a couple of rough sections, but definitely no deal breakers here. So again, as usual, if you want to get yourself one of these, check the link down there in the description. And as always, make sure to come back for more anime figure reviews. See you next time.